could see clearly now. We could see clearly now.
Chinese Empire from invading Mongols. The Great Wall is actually a succession of multiple walls spanning approximately 4,000 miles, making it the world's longest man-made structure. The Roman Colosseum, Rome. Built between 70 AD and 80 AD, it wasn't used for some 500 years. The elliptical structure sat nearly 50,000 spectators who gathered to watch the gladiatorial events as well as other public spectacles, including battle reenactments, animal hunts, and executions. Earthquakes and stone robbers have left the Colosseum in a state of ruin, but portions of the structure remain open to tourists, and its design still influences the construction of modern-day amphitheaters some 2,000 years later. Christ the Redeemer statue, Rio de Janeiro. Christ the Redeemer statue has been looming over the Brazilians from upon Corcovado Mountain in an awe-inspiring state of eternal blessing since 1931. The 130-foot reinforced concrete and soapstone statue was designed by Heitor da Silva Costa and cost approximately $250,000 to build. The statue has become an easily recognized icon for Rio and Brazil. Machu Picchu, Peru. Machu Picchu, an Incan city of sparkling granite precariously perched between two towering Andean peaks, is thought by scholars to have been a sacred archaeological center for the nearby Incan capital of Cusco. Built at the peak of the Incan Empire in the mid-1400s, this mountain citadel was later abandoned by the Incas. The site remained unknown except to locals until 1911, when it was rediscovered by archaeologist Hiram Bingham. Taj Mahal, Agra, India. A mausoleum commissioned for the wife of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, the Taj Mahal was built between 1632 and 1648. The white marble structure represents a number of architectural styles, including Persian, Islamic, Turkish, and Indian. The Taj Mahal also encompasses formal gardens of raised pathways, sunken flower beds, and a linear reflecting pool. Chichen Itza, Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico. The genius and adaptability of Mayan culture can be seen in the splendid ruins of Chichen Itza. This powerful city, a trading center for cloth, slaves, honey, and salt, flourished from approximately 800 to 1200 and acted as the political and economic hub of the Mayan civilization. The most familiar ruin at the site is El Caracol, a sophisticated astronomical observatory. Petra, Jordan. Declared a World Heritage Site in 1985, Petra was the capital of the Nabatean Empire of King Aretas IV. The members of this civilization proved to be early experts in manipulating water technology, constructing intricate tunnels and water chambers, which helped create an pseudo-oasis. A number of incredible structures carved into stone, a 4,000-seat amphitheater, and the El Dir Monastery have also helped the site earn its fame.
You may think these images are from the movie Avatar, or perhaps some other distant Earth-like planet. It's hard to believe these places exist on our own planet. Here are 15 unbelievable places that actually exist. Number 15. Underwater Waterfall, Mauritius. Mauritius is known for its idyllic beaches and crystal clear sea, but there's an unbelievable phenomenon at the southwest corner of the island that appears to be an underwater waterfall. Despite how it looks, this isn't actually a flowing region of water, but instead an optical illusion that happens because of the seafloor structure. The island sits on an ocean shelf which is no more than 500 feet deep. At the edge of the shelf, however, it soon plunges down to depths of almost 2.5 miles. And what you're actually seeing in the underwater waterfall is not water falling down into the abyss, but particles of sand that are being pushed over by the current. Number 14. Glowworm Cave, New Zealand. New Zealand is one of the most scenic countries in the world, but beyond the peaks of the mountain ranges, the deep valleys, and the glaciers are a series of caves that seem to have come straight from a fairy tale. The reason for this is because they're home to glowworms, which are the larval forms of a species of fungus gnat that are endemic to the country. Known locally as titiwai, which means projected over water, the bioluminescence that's produced in the insect's abdomens is designed to attract prey, and happens as a result of a chemical reaction between a luciferase enzyme and a molecule of luciferin. It creates one of the most stunning sights that you can see in the natural world, and makes for a magical boat ride through the cavern when thousands of the glowworms are active. Number 13. Tianxi Mountains, China. China, Tianxi's mountains in the Hunan province are some of the most unusual mountain formations in the world. Covering an area of around 17,000 acres, they're made from quartz sandstone and first began to emerge from the earth about 400 million years ago. The subsequent erosion of the rock has created these skinny mountains, which reach a peak of 3,976 feet and are named after the legend of a farmer who led a revolt against an oppressive regime who called himself the Son of Heaven. When the mountains are covered in mist, there's something mystical about them, and it's no surprise they were the inspiration for mountainscapes in movies like Avatar, and are one of the most popular tourist destinations in the region. Number 12. Grand Prismatic Spring, Wyoming, USA. The stunningly colorful Grand Prismatic Spring is in Yellowstone National Park and is the largest hot spring in the US. It's bigger than a football field at about 370 feet wide, and with a depth of at least 160 feet, you could fit a 10-story building inside it. The spring is fed through a crack in its floor, through which as much as 560 gallons of water is released into it every minute. Its normal temperature is 160 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's because of this that it's surrounded by such vibrant rings. The color is created by the presence of microbes that live in hot environments, and depending on the time of year, you'll see reds, oranges, yellows, greens, and blues. Number 11. Monte Roraima, Venezuela. We're so used to seeing natural formations that have irregular shapes that it seems almost impossible for something to have a rigid design to it. Monte Roraima in Venezuela isn't your ordinary mountain though, and its 12-square-mile summit is surrounded by 1,300-foot-tall cliffs, almost in a square shape. It's actually on a tri-point border between Venezuela, Guyana, and Brazil, and has long been part of local beliefs. The Paimon and Kapon people believe it to be the stump of a giant tree that once bore all the fruits and vegetables in the world, and the seemingly unscalable cliffs have inspired a number of stories, including The Lost World by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Paradise Falls from the movie Up. Number 10. Lake Retba, Senegal. On the northwest coast of Africa, about 18 miles northeast of the Senegalese capital, Dakar, is a lake like anything you'll find elsewhere in the world. Called Lake Retba, it has an extremely high salt content, and this provides ideal conditions for Dunaliella salina algae to thrive, which are bright red-colored and make the water appear to be pink. This unusual hue is far more prominent during the region's dry season between November and June, and the effect is accentuated by the magenta bushes that grow around its shores. The lake is an important economic center, too, with thousands of people who rely on retrieving and selling the salt deposits, as well as fishing the waters. Catches here don't quite match up to what's possible in other lakes, however, because to survive in such salty water, the fish only grow to around 1/4 the size they would do elsewhere. Number 9. Red Beach, Panjin, China. China is a country that's full of incredible geographic sites, but there's perhaps none as surprising as the Red Beach in Panjin. It's around the mouth of the Panjin Shangchaisi River, where the soil is so alkaline that very few species of plant can grow. One that does particularly well is the Sueda salsa, which has a deep red color and is why the region looks so remarkable. It was once thought that Mars was red because it was covered in crimson plants, and if that were true, the beach at Panjin is surely how it would have appeared. With so many plants growing on the shores, the Red Beach is the largest wetland area in the world, and together with the largest reed marsh in Asia, which is also there, the whole region is a protected area of natural interest. It's home to more than 260 different species of birds and more than 400 species of other types of animals, including the rare red-crowned crane and black-mouthed gulls. Before we move on, be sure to subscribe to Top 5s with notifications on. Number 8. The Crooked Forest, Poland. Deep within a forest near the town of Grafino in Poland is a phenomenon that has confused researchers and visitors alike ever since it was first discovered. Called the Crooked Forest, there are an estimated 400 pine trees that have for some reason grown very differently to normal. It's thought that they were planted during the 1930s when the region was a part of Germany, and after emerging from the ground like usual, they bent towards the north for several feet before growing upwards again. It's not known why this has happened and why it's something that only these 400 trees have done, but there's a couple of theories. The first is that it's the result of human design, perhaps because of a tool that was used when they were first planted, or the alternative suggestion is that they were all subject to a freak weather event, such as a snowstorm while they were young in their development. No records exist to support either theory, however, so it's quite possible we'll never know for certain. Number 7. Stone Forest, Madagascar. Madagascar is usually thought of as a place with an unparalleled amount of biodiversity, but its geographical features are equally impressive. The Stone Forest, which is within the Singideba-Maraha National Park, began life hundreds of millions of years ago as a lagoon. Limestone deposits formed on the bed and, due to tectonic activity, were lifted above the water's surface. As the lagoon receded, more limestone was revealed, and it was worn away by the monsoon rains over the following millennia. This, combined with groundwater erosion that formed caves that subsequently collapsed, has left a series of towers with canyons between them, which has resulted in the largest such formation in the world. Its name means where one cannot walk barefoot, and that's an apt warning. These pillars, some of which are up to 2,600 feet high, are sharp enough to easily cut through flesh or equipment, so have to be traversed with the utmost of care. Number 6. Lake Baikal, Russia. Lake Baikal, which is in southern Siberia, is the largest known freshwater lake in the world, which contains almost a quarter of our planet's non-saline surface water. At 5,387 feet deep, it's the world's deepest lake, and is also thought to be the oldest after forming around 25 million years ago. As you'd expect, there's a wealth of plant and animal life in the region, and it supports countless villages and tribes. But the thing that's particularly amazing about this place is what happens when it freezes over. Because it's formed in a valley, it's exposed to freezing winds that blow across its surface, and this leads to the creation of unbelievable ice structures that are hard to believe form naturally. Methane bubbles are often trapped in the ice. Small particles are blown together, frozen, melted, and refrozen to join into unusual shapes. And rocks can even be seen sitting on their own icy pedestals. At the right time of year, this is one of the most serene and awe-inspiring places on Earth, and well worth a visit if you get the chance. Number 5. Richat Structure, Mauritania. Also known as the Eye of Africa, the Richat Structure is a strange formation in the desert rock near the small town of Ouadane in Mauritania. The inverse dome is 25 miles in diameter and has exposed various layers of rock that appear like concentric rings. It's one of the easiest natural structures to see from space, but amazingly, it's very hard to see from ground level. And if you were there, you'd probably be unable to notice anything different about it from the surrounding land. Quite how it was formed has been the subject of scientific debate ever since it was first discovered in the 1930s. The first assumption was that it's an impact crater from a meteorite, but the lack of evidence of any superheated rocks has ruled this out. Instead, it's been formed by millions of years of erosion of softer rock that was probably deposited during a time when the region was underwater. Quite why this happened in such a circular fashion is still unclear. There are ridges and valleys that follow the concentric lines of the Richat structure, and evidence has been found that humans have lived here for hundreds of thousands of years. Ancient artifacts have been unearthed that date back to the Stone Age, such as tools and spears. Strangely, however, none have been found at the center of this depression, which also discounts any possibility that this was a prehistoric mine of some sort. With such delicate rock, there are calls to make the structure a protected site to ensure it can be studied for years to come and, hopefully, reveal some of the secrets as to how this strange place came to be. Number 4. Fly Geyser, Nevada, USA. Fly Geyser looks like it would be at home on an alien planet, but amazingly, it's only about 20 miles north of the town of Gerlach in Nevada. Although you might think this to be a natural formation, it actually is the result of human activity when a well was drilled in 1916 with a view to irrigating water. Due to the geothermal activity in the region, the water was close to boiling point, so the well was abandoned, but a calcium carbonate cone began to form around the opening. A second hole was dug in 1964 by an energy company, but the water wasn't hot enough for their needs, so they abandoned it too, and the structure that formed around it is what we see today. It has a number of openings which the water shoots 5 feet high out of, and the entire structure is currently between 25 and 30 feet tall. Various platforms and pools have also been created across 74 acres. The water's unusually high silica content and the presence of algae that thrive in the conditions are responsible for the multicolored deposits that have solidified around it. And because it's heated to a temperature of around 200 degrees Fahrenheit, it produces quartz, something that usually takes 10,000 years to happen in other geysers. Even though there are a couple of other geysers nearby that have been formed in a similar way, none are as large or as impressive as the Fly Geyser is. Therefore, one of a kind and something you won't see anywhere else in the world. Number 3. Nika Mine, Mexico. What's the biggest crystal you've ever seen? Well, however large you thought it was, it's nothing compared to what a team of miners discovered near Nika in Chihuahua, Mexico. In 1910, a cavern was found at a depth of 390 feet, which has become known as the Cave of Swords. And to their astonishment, it was full of gypsum crystals that were up to 3 feet 3 inches long. 90 years later, another mining crew took things a step further when they were drilling a new shaft and found the Giant Crystal Cave, which itself was 980 feet beneath the surface. This cave had once been flooded with hot water, which allowed minerals to deposit in crystalline structures. The largest of the crystals to have been seen was 39 feet long, 13 feet wide, and thought to weigh as much as 55 tons, which makes it the largest one ever to have been found. Conditions in the cave aren't exactly inviting to people though, with temperatures reaching 136 degrees Fahrenheit and a 99% humidity. Humans can only be in there for up to 10 minutes without full safety equipment. Even if you were prepared for this, it's not possible to visit the cave currently. After a robber tried to steal a crystal and ended up suffocating and dying, it was shut permanently and allowed to refill with water in the hope that the crystals can be preserved and continue to grow until improved methods of exploration become available. Number 2. The Gates of Hell, Turkmenistan. Not only is the existence of the gates of hell in Turkmenistan hard to believe, but the way it was formed is perhaps even more difficult to believe. If you had visited this place near the village of Devasa 50 years ago, it would have looked just like the surrounding Karakum Desert, with sand stretching out in every direction you look. In the 1970s, the country was part of the Soviet Union, and the authorities were on a campaign to identify all areas of natural resources that could be mined and used to support the growing population. In 1971, geologists arrived in the area and believed the ground below to contain a cavern that was full of oil. So they set up a test rig to drill down and take further measurements, but soon found there to be a large pocket of gas just beneath the surface. Now, there are no official Russian or Turkmen records of what happened next, but according to the sources close to operations at the time, the ground collapsed beneath the rig and swallowed the drill, as well as several top Soviet scientists. The remaining researchers were now faced with a problem. They could detect large quantities of methane being released from the hole they had just created, and believed this to be a possible health hazard. Their calculations suggested that the best way to deal with it was to burn the gas, and that it would run out within a few weeks. It was then decided to throw a grenade into the hole, and the gates of hell was born. Someone calculated it wrong, because since that day almost 50 years ago, the hole is continually burned. The crater is now approximately 230 feet across and 66 feet deep, and is filled with fires, boiling mud, and ferocious orange flames. Plans have often been drafted to try and extinguish it for good, especially considering it sat above one of the largest natural gas deposits that are anywhere on Earth. But such is the scale of the problem that no one yet has found an adequate solution. Now it's one of the most popular tourist sites in the country, and has become an area of biological research because of the organisms that have been found to be living in the center of the crater. It may perhaps burn out one day like the scientists in the 1970s thought it would, but based on current progress, it could be several more decades before it even seems to begin slowing down. Number 1. Caño Cristales, Colombia. The Caño Cristales is a small tributary river that feeds into the Guayabero River of Colombia. But due to its unique plant life, it's also commonly referred to as the most beautiful river in the world. The fast-flowing water passes through a region that's on the edge of the Amazon rainforest, the Andes, and the eastern Llanos, and is almost perfectly clear. The riverbed has numerous holes and dips in it because of the way the rocks caught in the current erode the bedrock, and this has produced the ideal locations for a species of plant called Macarenia clavigera to grow. During the summer months, it takes on a gloriously red hue and also provides shelter for other species to grow that adds yellows, greens, blues, and blacks into the mix. It's no wonder that this place is also affectionately known as the liquid rainbow, and is so unusual that many visitors still can't believe that it's real, even when they're standing right next to it. Subscribe to Top 5s for more and check out some of our other popular videos.
Welcome to my channel where I provide top 10 of my personal bucket list. On today's video, we're going to talk about top of the most expensive hotels in the world and the luxury that each of them can provide. The precursor to the modern hotel was the inn of the medieval Europe. For a period of about 200 years from the 17th century, couching inns were served as a place for lodging to couch travelers. Inns began to cater richer clients in the mid-18th century. One of the first hotels in the modern sense was opened in Exeter way back in 1768. Hotel proliferated throughout Western Europe and North America in the early 19th century, and luxury hotels began to spring up in the later part of the 19th century. Hotel operations vary in size, function, complexity, and cost, and here on this video we're going to look at the most expensive hotels per night. 10th on the list is the $15,000 per night Park Hyatt Paris. There are two hotels from Paris on the list, and the Park Hyatt Paris Vendôme is the first of the two, barely making it despite having room costs of $15,000 per night. Park Hyatt Paris Vendôme is one of the most luxurious hotels in Paris, located in the historic building near Palace Vendôme and Palace Garnier in the heart of the city. With the thoughtful amenities, exquisite decor, and unparalleled elegance, Park Hyatt Paris Vendôme is the unforgettable destination in the City of Lights. On the list is the Four Seasons Hotel George V in Paris, France, priced per night $15,500. It is one of the most expensive hotels in Paris, but rarely the 9th most expensive hotel in the world. The Four Seasons have built along the years a solid reputation of state-of-the-art luxury and comfort. Almost every room priced this high comes with an incredible view over Parisian skyline with the Eiffel Tower dominating the scenery. 8 on the list is the Logement Geneva, Switzerland, priced per night $17. Same as with Paris, there are 2 hotels here in the list in Geneva, and this is the cheaper one. We love Geneva because it's filled with the class and everybody drop by just to check their really long bank statements. So what would you expect high-end luxury hotel industry to make out of this premium clientele? The prices and level of luxury are all suited only for those part of the rich world. Number 7 on the list is the $17,500 per night, the Burj Al Arab Hotel in Dubai. Dominant in the Arabian skyline of Dubai, the Burj Al Arab Hotel has become a local landmark and was considered to be the only 7-star hotel in the world. Not only tourists seek to visit it, but millionaires fly all over the world to enjoy the luxurious place has to offer. Celebrities has fallen in love with the place, and it has become one of the most popular destinations in Dubai. Number 6 on the list is the $17,500 per night, the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Russia. Everyone in the world has heard of the Ritz, and it's for a good reason. One of the oldest luxury hotels in the world, Ritz-Carlton has always been in the top of the premium hotels around the world. They have always managed to innovate in terms of just how far attention to details can go. A luxury hotel that captures Moscow's elegance through architectural details, dining, and breathtaking views. This particular Ritz-Carlton happens also to be the most expensive in Moscow. 5th on the list is the Atlantis Resort Hotel Dubai and Bahamas. Price per night is $24,000. Finally going on the 20K mark per night, Atlantis Resort Hotel is a prime example of what no limit spending can create when it comes to luxury destinations. Not only the place stands on the artificial created island, but it hosts one of the most incredible aqua park in the world, holding the title of the most expensive grand opening in the hotel in history. An average holiday here will definitely take you into 6 figures territory in terms of the bill. 4th on our list is the price per night of $31,500 President Wilson Hotel, Geneva in Switzerland. For most people, paying over $30,000 for only one night in a hotel is inconceivable. President Wilson makes it one number 4 position, offering facilities that you couldn't possibly make use of all of them during your stay, but the options are there. Of course, you get the concierge services and everything else. $30,000 a night is a ton of money. 3rd on our list is the whopping price tag of $32,500 per night, the Four Seasons Hotel in Manhattan, New York, USA. The Four Seasons Hotel in Manhattan is a landmark of luxury and wealth. It has become a status symbol of those that will probably never go broke for the rest of their lives. $32,500 a night gets you a premium penthouse with probably the best view in New York City. 2nd on the list is the price per night of $38,000, the Palms Casino Resort Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. The Palms Casino Resort Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada is the 2nd most expensive hotel in the world, the place where big bowlers come to blow away their cash. $38,000 is nothing from a gambler ending spending the night there. Most of them are professional pookers that have made millions in the city and are just enjoying themselves. The thing is, if you're one of the big ballers at the hotel, they might even give you for free, as long as they know that you'll be spending a large sum of money in their casinos. And number 1 on our list, with a price per night of $47,500, the Grand Resort Lagunisi in Athens, Greece. The Grand Resort Lagunisi in Athens, Greece is the most expensive hotel in the world at almost $50,000 a night. This place is the closest thing you can get to renting a piece of heaven. Gorgeous views, incredible food, luxury cars, European women. This place is at the peak of what money can buy. The Grand Resort Lagunisi in Athens, Greece has been visited by all of the big celebrities. And that's my own personal bucket list of the most expensive hotels in the world. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye!
The world is an adventure waiting for you to experience. Maybe you are traveling alone because you didn't have friends willing to join you, or perhaps because you enjoy moments of solitude that traveling in groups doesn't offer. Maybe you have a personal bucket list of destinations and you are having difficulty finding a travel partner who holds the same passion as you for the places you desire to explore. In any case, check out these destinations that are welcoming to single travelers. Australia. Australia is a great destination for those who are looking for a variety of adventures. Many women travel alone in this country. From sunny beaches and snorkeling, to the excitement of big cities, Australia has unlimited options for the solo traveler. You can rent a variety of rooms and private apartments there as well, which means you can save money and live quite comfortably while on your travels. Costa Rica. It's hard to imagine a coastline more abundantly blessed than Costa Rica's, and nature's generosity is warmly extended to travelers. One of the world's most biodiverse nations, Costa Rica prioritizes wildlife preservation with a string of outdoor adventures on the menu and development balanced by green energy such as hydro and wind power. The hubs of Tamarindo, Santa Teresa, Puerto Viejo, La Fortuna and Nasara are particularly solo traveler-friendly places to start, and at friendly hostels such as Tamarindo Backpackers. Thailand. Thailand is a welcoming place for the solo traveler. Bangkok in particular is an amazing place to travel alone, yet you will find that you do not feel alone for long there, due to the many amazing people you will meet. Beautiful temples and amazing walking trails are among the many activities you can enjoy in this country. Tanzania. Tanzania has many rich experiences that await the solo traveler. Going on a safari is a must, but there are many other great adventures, such as hiking Kilimanjaro. Both places have many companies that offer group trips. You will find the people who live there very welcoming, and make you feel at home. Ireland. Ireland is a fun country for the individual who chooses to travel alone. Ireland is a fun country for the individual who chooses to travel alone. It is normal for women to be alone there, and there is no language barrier to face, which makes the journey a little more manageable. Even strangers are friendly, and those who are from Ireland will be happy to help you out if you need directions or ideas about what to do next. Take time to soak in the beautiful scenery that Ireland offers, and be sure to visit a few pubs while you are there. Japan. Japan is a wonderful country full of rich experiences. People there have a reputation of being welcoming to visitors, and you will have no trouble finding help when needed. Consider visiting some temples and museums there, and enjoy the tasty cuisine, which is generally healthy and light. Spain. Spain is another place to visit where solo travelers are not out of place. Hotels generally give you a reasonable rate when traveling alone, which is not the case in all countries. Short and extended study vacations abound in Spain, so it is a great place to travel alone when learning is one of your goals. Singapore. It used to be fashionable to dismiss Singapore. It used to be fashionable to dismiss Singapore as a sterile stopover city, but frankly, those travelers weren't trying hard enough. Singapore will be the best solo travel destination for culture. 21st century Singapore is a cultural and culinary melting pot, with world-class cultural institutions, space-age green spaces and a thrillingly diverse hotel and restaurant scene. What travelers invariably love most about Singapore are the dramatic contrasts. Historic Hindu temples sit at the feet of soaring skyscrapers, world-class museums have rainforest as their back garden, and crumbling 19th century shophouses now house vintage boutiques and speakeasy-style cocktail dens. Thanks to a long history of migration, Singapore is one of Asia's most ethnically diverse, and racially integrated, cities, with significant Malay, Indian and Eurasian minorities alongside the 74% Chinese Singaporean majority. Traveling alone is an experience that will help you learn more about yourself, become comfortable in your own skin, and gain a new confidence that will always stay with you. Check out our Solo Traveler, Get Inspired by Blogs to Travel the World video link will be in the description. Consider trying at least one of the locations on this list if you desire to learn more about the world, and have a wonderful, unforgettable time on your trip for one.
Number 17. Faroe Islands. Located in the Atlantic Ocean, about halfway between Scotland and Iceland, you will find a group of 18 major islands, formerly part of Denmark, the Faroe Islands. This archipelago is unique because of its incredible steep mountains, spectacular cliffs, waterfalls, and colonies of birds residing on its shores. The Faroe Islands are heaven for nature lovers who enjoy hikes and incredible views. Number 16. Joshua Tree National Park. What at first glance seems like a landscape on a different planet, perhaps that from a science fiction movie, is a unique desert located in California. Formed on the intersection of Mojave and Colorado desert ecosystems, Joshua Tree National Park is home to the large yucca-type trees called Joshua trees. Astonishing granite rock formations and the landscape believed to be formed about 2 billion years ago make Joshua Tree National Park perfect for exploring, camping, and even rock climbing. Situated away from big cities, stargazing at night is another popular activity at this extraordinary park. Number 15. Pamukkale. Located in Turkey, Pamukkale were formed over hot springs. The word Pamukkale means cotton castle. Hot water flowing downhill gradually deposited travertine sediments and formed a one-of-a-kind natural thermal spa. It is no surprise that an actual thermal spa was established here in ancient time when the city of Hierapolis was built at the top of Pamukkale. Some of the ruins of ancient temples and baths can still be found there today. Number 14. Raja Ampat Islands. Located on the equator and part of Indonesia, the 1,500 small Raja Ampat Islands are considered diverse paradise, with around 75% of the world's species living in the waters of Raja Ampat and one of the richest biodiversity ecosystems. It is no wonder why divers roam here from all over the world. Also offer breathtaking nature above water with its abundance of exotic beaches, keys, and hills with amazing views. Number 13. Algarve. Located in the south of Portugal, Algarve is considered the country's most important tourist region. Algarve is famous because of the perfect combination of mild climate, stunning shoreline full of cliffs, caves, and hidden bays, as well as charming fishing towns and great food and wine. Most remarkable characteristics of Algarve are its numerous hidden coves with sandy beaches placed amidst the rugged limestone cliffs. Number 12. Antelope Canyon. Arizona's Antelope Canyon is one of the most impressive canyons in the world, sacred to the native Navajo people, demonstrating the Mother Nature's powers and gifts. These two imposing slot canyons were formed by water making its way through the sandstone. In the spring and summer, the sun shines through Upper Antelope Canyon's narrow walls, creating an extraordinary sight lasting only a couple of moments. Number 11. Patagonia. Stretching over a large portion of the southern part of South America, divided between two countries, Argentina and Chile, Patagonia offers astounding wild and untouched nature. Mountains dividing Patagonia into Chilean and Argentinian part, each side is unique. The Chilean side, next to the Pacific Ocean, is full of glaciers, fjords, and the rainforests. The side of Patagonia located on the Atlantic Ocean in Argentina is mostly home to deserts and vast arid steppes. One of the most prominent landscapes in Patagonia is Tierra del Fuego, full of glaciers and extraordinary vistas. Number 10. Uyuni Salt Flat. The world's largest salt flat, Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, was formed on what used to be a group of prehistoric lakes. With a thick layer of salt laying on the surface, this incredible area is actually one of the flattest surfaces on Earth. Transforms Salar de Uyuni into a large natural mirror. Number 9. Geiranger Fjord. Norway is the land of magnificent fjords, and many of them are world famous. But the Geiranger Fjord is probably one of the most remarkable ones. Surrounded by lush green forests and magnificent mountains, as well as dramatic waterfalls, no wonder why the fjord is a popular hiking destination. Geiranger Fjord is part of the Geiranger National Park. Number 8. Amazon Rainforest. Also referred to as the Earth's lungs, South America's Amazon rainforest stretches over 9 countries. Amazon is the world's largest tropical rainforest, known for its abundance of biodiversity, with around 10% of all the world's species living here. While the Amazon River, the largest river by water discharge in the world, covers most of the Amazon rainforest, it actually spreads through thousands of other rivers. The rivers and the jungle, with entire areas where no human has ever set foot on, the Amazon rainforest is a popular destination for explorers. Number 7. Yellowstone National Park. Located mostly in the US state of Wyoming, while also stretching into neighboring Montana and Idaho, Yellowstone National Park covers around 35,000 square miles or around 9,000 square kilometers of land. world's first national park, known for its hot springs, gushing geysers, rivers flowing through vast landscapes, mountains and canyons, Yellowstone is home to an abundance of wildlife. Bears, wolves, bison, elks, and antelopes are just some of the incredible inhabitants of this spectacular setting. Number 6. Iguazu Falls. The largest waterfalls in the world, Iguazu Falls, are located on the border of Brazil and Argentina on the Iguazu River. The waterfalls daze with almost 2 miles or 3 kilometers of cascades comprising of hundreds of smaller waterfalls. The most famous section of the falls is the iconic Devil's Throat. The word Iguazu derives from the native language meaning big water. Number 5. Uluru. Hidden in the heart of Central Australian desert, 280 miles or 450 kilometers away from the nearest town, stands a massive monolith called Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock. Sacred ground to native Aborigines, Ayers Rock is now closed for visitors who can only admire it from the ground. The area around it is full of indigenous paintings and features a surprising number of green areas and wildlife. This 1142 feet or 348 meters tall sandstone monolith is believed to be 550 million years old. Number 4. Namib Desert. Stretching around 1,200 miles or around 2,000 kilometers along Namibia's Atlantic coast, as well as over the parts of South Africa and Angola, the Namib Desert is one of the largest deserts on Earth. The origins of the name from the native people of Nama actually describe what Namib stands for, an area where there is nothing. Dunes in the world, spreading as far as the eye could see to incredible coast where the deserts meets the sea. Namib offers one of the world's most beautiful as well as the most isolated places on Earth, with a surprising number of unique animals and plants. Number 3. Plitvice Lakes. Located in Croatia's karst landscape, Plitvice Lakes are a group of impressive cascading lakes set in the serene green scenery. The lakes were formed as a result of several karst rivers converging underground over time, creating travertine barriers. Lakes feature 16 large cascades and over 90 waterfalls. Number 2. Guangxi. Located in China on the border with Vietnam lies one of the most dramatic landscapes on Earth. The Guangxi region is famous for its karst mountains rising from the water, an abundance of fascinating caves, and its history. Home to remarkable wildlife and plants, Guangxi was one of the country's richest biodiversity areas, but has been under strong human influence for centuries, and very few pristine terrestrial ecosystems still exist. Stop in the town of Guilin or elsewhere in the region to admire breathtaking rice fields and mountains, which you would also find on 21 banknotes. Number 1. Mount Kilimanjaro. At over 19,000 feet or almost 6,000 meters, Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest single freestanding mountain on Earth, located in Tanzania and overlooking Kenya. Its 3 volcanic cones, shrinking glaciers, and specific terrain configuration make Kilimanjaro a very desirable climbing destination, as well as subject to scientific exploration. You can admire the mountain from below from many national parks, both in Tanzania and Kenya, such as Kilimanjaro National Park or Amboseli National Park, known for its large elephant herds and